Square has been one of my favorite gaming companies for literally my entire life. As a young 5-year-old, I was thrust into the world of Final Fantasy VII, and from then on, the JRPG became my favorite genre of video game. Naturally, Square Enix, known as Squaresoft back in the day, was putting out some of the best in this category. From Dragon Quest to the early Kingdom Hearts games, to my favorite game of all time, Final Fantasy X, they could seemingly do no wrong for decades. However, they've seemed to hit some speed bumps with acclaim in the last 10 years, and while many of their projects aren't considered bad games by many, they certainly aren't hitting grand slams with every release like they used to. However, they seem to be making quite the resurgence recently, Dragon Quest XI, FF7 Remake, and Octopath Traveler to name a few. But today, I will be continuing my journey as a lifelong Square fan. I'm foaming at the mouth for their next project, Balan Wonderworld, and I just cannot wait to immerse myself in another modern Square Enix masterpiece. This game is bad. It's just really fucking bad. At first, you think it's gonna be something that's actually worth a shit. The opening cutscene is charming, graphically it looks like a big AAA game, and then you get to the gameplay. I don't think I've ever had more of a transition shock in my life. To go from this to this in the matter of seconds was flooring. So you start running around and the game doesn't tell you shit. Every single button is a jump, and it may be hard to tell just by watching, but my god, the controls. The controls are fucking awful. They're so slippery. You just feel like you're sliding all over the place. It looks and feels like a beta. Like this is supposed to be a AAA game, and it fucking looks and plays like this. So you go to the first level, and after a painfully long load screen, you get more low-poly bullshit. Why did this take so long to load? I don't get it. It looks awful, and nothing makes any goddamn sense thematically at all. There's a giant farmer for some reason, and a bunch of furries. Anyways, you become Crash Bandicoot, and you run into a boss who looks like a Sonic OC, and you're like, okay, finally some action. You ready for this epic battle? Then you get a costume that makes you jump, which is great, because none of the other fucking buttons make you jump, and it's basically like Yoshi. But then comes the shittiest minigame of all time. All you do is press B over and over until it's done. I mean, that's basically this entire game so far, so I'm not surprised. This game takes zero skill. The hardest thing about it is the fact that it doesn't tell you shit, so you have to spend time finding what to do. Other than that, you just jump around. By the way, I'm playing the demo on my Switch. They took it down recently because it's that awful and was actually making people not buy it. So for the love of God, do not support this game financially. So these little things that follow you around that they don't even tell you what they are, do something, like, I literally have no idea what's happening. There's no story or dialogue or anything at this point, so I guess we beat the level? So in level 2 you get the Onion power-up from Odyssey, which doesn't add anything to the game other than that they put these things slightly higher now. Yeah, great level design by the way. But then you become the footballer and you're like, oh cool, I get to kick shit at enemies. But no, it's just another shitty minigame where you do nothing but press B. Why is this even in the fucking game? It's so pointless! So to get new costumes you have to have a key for them. But the keys are literally right next to the costume. What's the fucking point? Why not just let us grab the costume? So you get this shitty dragon that breathes fire. And I only say fire because that's what it's described as. It looks like dog shit, but I mean, what does it at this point? But then you realize that in this costume, you can't jump. So you have to switch back to the other costumes, and my god, the switching takes forever. It's just so fucking annoying to pause every time you want to switch. It honestly makes the dragon costume completely useless. So you roll the ball down the hill, open the door, and that's it. After another mindless enemy, the level's over. You can't even call this level design. You run in a straight line, open 2 doors, and you win. I don't know how it can get any worse than what I'm experiencing right now. This game should be illegal. Everyone who had a hand in making this game should be imprisoned for selling this for $60. I'm in utter shock. I truly am. There's no story. There's no thought in any levels. There's no dialogue. Every button does the same thing. How do you go from this to this? This is the worst AAA game I've played in the last 20 years. Square Enix, this is unforgivable. It truly is. Well, until you give me Remake Part 2. Then I might let it slide. Don't buy this fucking game!